Hi everyone, it's Aurelia here once again to finally address something that a lot of people have been asking and a lot of people have been requesting and Fever keeps denying. Today we're talking about how to play Spear. But more importantly, look at this swimsuit I'm wearing. I saw this in the gacha place and my god, it is very fetching. And it goes well with my ninja suit thing. I'm actually taking a shower with it because it's very nice. It's a blue swimsuit. It complements my hair and my clothes, which is good. So right there is 10 points to sex appeal and charm. And that is good for stunning enemies and other players. So that's important. No, not really. But yeah, I'm in Kusatsu. And as you can tell, I'm not actually holding a spear. I am holding some D3s, Super Saiyan 2 D3s, because they spark. That's because cross recipes are really hard to get, especially when the ones you want. But since I'm a daring spear user, I can use these. But for people that know me, I'm a rain user, so I use Misty Massacre. And Misty Massacre. So, that question's answered. So about spears, I'm going to stand on this table, treat it like a podium. Yes, this is my podium. No, I want the other table. Oh, pro tip, if you have violet strikes, you can use it to go from one table to the other. Yes, I tested this. It's clinically proven. Okay, so on to spear. So for spears, I have a Geno Buster, a Hyotengu. Oh, we're gonna go to my inventory. That's gonna be a mess. I didn't clean it. We'll take out Predator and my baby Rose Maiden. Yeah, alright. So we'll just look at the weapons first. So, where to start with spears? When people think about spears, you think stabbing people and impaling them and doing cool knight stuff. That would be cool, but in Onigiri, you slash things with spears. Look, slash, slash, slash. And slash, slash, slash. And people call the Geno Buster, like, is that an axe? Like, where'd you get that axe? I get that question a lot. The Geno Buster is Oppenheimer's weapon. You have to beat him up a lot to get it. And it is a halberd. Not an axe. It is a halberd. It is an axe on a long stick. There is a difference, and it is purple. Very purple. And then we have Predator Spear. It's a level 96 spear you can get really early in Wari Bazooka. It's pretty good. It's got like 4,000 base attack, so if you pumped it up, it would be... It might touch 10k? I don't know. Mine's just plus 50. Oh, my podium. Okay. And then lastly, we have my trusty Rose Maiden. This is like the staple Echigo spear. And then there's also the Dragon Spear, but we don't talk about the Dragon Spear. So yeah, there are lots of spears in the game. For those that don't know, I only became a spear user in Kaga because I was bow twin, like daring, but I had some vitality augmentations, points distributed to it. I don't know the word for that, but I'm going to describe it like that. I put points into Vit. That's a good way to say it. So I had 70 dex, 40 Vit, 40 mind, and then I just switched it over and pumped Vit till I was 106, then it hit 100. My mind is at 65 and my dex is at 90 something. So there's that distribution, the reason. So that said, the only spears I've ever held are the Amano Hiboko, which is the Kaga spear, the Rose Maiden, the Dragon Spear, Predator Spear, Geno Buster, Hyotengu. Those are the only spears I've ever used. I've only used 6 different kinds, but it doesn't really matter. What it really comes down to is the skills of a spear user. As far as I'm concerned, there are 3 really good really good staple spear skills. Like if you look at my Rose Maiden, you could probably tell what 2 of those skills are. And those skills are Water Dragon, and Water Dragon. Yeah. No, Water Dragon is like the bread and butter of spear. If you're gonna play spear, you should have Water Dragon. Like I will not touch a spear unless it has Water Dragon on it, period. And that's mostly because I saw Water Dragon, and that's what made me go to Spear, because I'm like, that move is so awesome, I need to have it. It was like having 3 Kamehamehas come out of your weapon. Like, look, it's like, wow. Anyway, yeah, water. So I went water. Okay, so hi Hiyori. This is fantastic. This is my podium. What are you doing? Anyway, so Ice Blossom is another good spear skill. It's a good double sweep. Multi-hit protection's got nothing on you because it's a red flame attack. And by red flame, I mean it attacks. You have to hold the button down or mash it or use it. You can't just hold it down and the move comes out like Water Dragon. You can't just tap it once, I mean. So, what? That's my podium. Fuck you, Hiyori. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but she pissed me off. So this is my new podium. And it's a Water Dragon staple, Water Dragon, Ice Blossom, and then lately we have Revolving Blast. And that's a fire move, which should go on the Dragon Spear, but it's not on the Dragon Spear. Because it didn't exist at the time, and Dragon Spear's fire element, so really what do? Thank you, Select, for that answer. And as you can see, this spear has Revolving Blast, Water Dragon, and Ice Blossom. To me, those are the 3 staple skills you should aim for. There are lots of other good spear skills, like Thundercrack is okay. I'm just never really used it yet. But I will when I get a Satan Cross spear. I'll put Thundercrack on it because that's awesome. What other skills? There's also Intimidate, which is a skill that any class can use. And I'm going to take about a minute here to explain what Intimidate does. So I'm going to bring out my Intimidate spear. Intimidate is not on the Predator spear. Bring up spear. Spur. Something. I have something in here with spears. Or not with spears, with Intimidate. Is it this one? Yeah, it is! Wow. Okay, so the Intimidate I have is Intimidate 7. And what Intimidate... I'm going to stand on my podium now that Hiyori's gone. And Intimidate... Look at the range. Intimidate's got a big range, so it must be a very powerful attack. This is Intimidate. It's got 7 flames. And you just shoot out your aura and exude dominance over all around you, and they will bow before you. And what that means is anything that Intimidate touches will become slowed, like when you shoot someone with restriction with a bow, or the bow oogie, or sometimes Dark Arrow can do that, whatever it's called, Cursed Arrow. Anyway, and what Intimidate does is it will slow down any enemy around you, like movement speed wise, but at the same time it will also like increase their attack speed almost twice as fast, and that also applies to how fast projectiles run at you. So if you ever intimidate, like let's say a Sumashi, the little fire witches, or like anything with ranged attacks, or a Cerberus. I've had a really good spear user, like not to name any names, but their name is Holly Weird, go into Juncture Room 70 and intimidate like all the Cerberus because he forgot to put on his mags and came in with cooldown mags. And he intimidated Cerberus, and I left the room and I said, what? I said, Jesus Christopher, please refrain from ever doing that again, so help me God. So never intimidate Cerberus, because all that does is speed up all his hop animations, because he doesn't actually move, and make him kill the world. So don't do that. Intimidate is like the Spider-Man rule, like with great power comes great responsibility, and knowledge is power, and like smarten up. They're all the same thing. So intimidate is very useful. Every class can use it, but it has to be used wisely. If you intimidate the wrong thing, you can kill an entire team. If you intimidate the right thing, you can save everyone's lives. And that's what being a spear's job is, like a paladin. So intimidate's very useful. I even recommend intimidate an intimidate spear for wand users, and staff users, because they are incapable of blocking. But spear is the best at blocking because it's just the vit stat, it's the defensive stat. So if you can get a spear with intimidate as a wand user, or as a healer even, because a healer is support, and having intimidate would be very useful. So intimidate is a very good utility move. I would recommend it to everyone, but please research it, because you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy who killed your entire team. Thanks, Goddess Freya. She's always watching out for me. What are the moves? We have Shadowed Strike. It's 100% Pierce. It's pretty cool, I guess. We have Lunge Step. It can also be used to jump from tables and things. It's kind of cool. But aside from those 4 skills, 5, like the elemental skills, I don't really use anything else for Spear. Like if you go to my Geno Buster, I have Water Dragon 6, Poison Fang 5, and Water Dragon 5. Poison Fang 5 is on there not by choice, but because I've lived by the philosophy of if my weapon has 2 good skills on it, aka Water Dragon and Water Dragon. I didn't mean to click on it, or use it, but anyway. Water Dragon and Water Dragon. I wasn't gonna mess with it and try to put on like Ice Blossom 7 or a Water Dragon 4 or something. No, I don't mess with Water Dragon 6. Water Dragon 6 is an Ogi and you should respect it. And it also has Poison Fang. Yeah, it's not by choice, but it's very good for poison killing Gold Darumas. Poison is the only element that can really damage a Gold Daruma. But Poison Fang can help, but it's not gonna kill it. You need like Poison Cloud or something. Why'd you come back? God damn it, this is my podium. Fine. I'm the teacher. Get on the ground. Fuck. Whatever. Is that Harai? Is that my boy? Harai? No, that's Blackie. Anyway. So if I look at my Hiotengu, my Hiotengu is very lucky. This is a spear which has 44 ice on it. It's the spear most spear users will go for because it's the 105. It's really good. It's the next. It's like the next thing before Brigandia, then Star and Cross. Brigandia is not Brigandia, but this Hiotengu is pretty good. We call it the Hio. So I got on it Ice Blossom 5, Ice Blossom 7, and Water Dragon 6. That is the dream. Well, the dream would be like 3 6s, but I tried to have 6 on it, but 7, 8, 6. And the story of the Hiotengu was I had Ice Blossom 5, Ice Blossom 7, and Wind Thrust 2. Wind Thrust, the thought of Wind Thrust is an okay move, but it locks you in place. You can't roll out of it. So it might be good, but it's very risky, and I don't recommend it. Unless you have like Whirlwind Thrust 7, which isn't even that good, I would... Well, Whirlwind Thrust is the poor man's Water Dragon, is what I call it. But back to the Hiotengu, it had Ice Blossom 5, 7, and then Wind Thrust 2. And I was content with it. I was like, okay, it's an ice spear, it's got ice moves on it, I'm not going to mess with it. And then I said, I'm like, this spear could have 3 Ice Blossoms on it, like 5, 6, and 7, and I would not touch it because it wouldn't have Water Dragon on it. I could not rely on it. So I said, F it, I have 2 cards for Ice Blossom 7, so I slapped on, if Water Dragon 6 eats 7, I can live with it because I'll put on the other 7 because I didn't plan on making a second Hiotengu. And then lo and behold, Water Dragon 6 took away Wind Thrust 2, and I was like, oh, gods be praised, my spear is cool. And that's the story of the Hiotengu. As for the spear Ogis, Spirit Blast is probably everyone's Ogi of choice. It is very good. It is holy, so it's very good in Edo. Like you will hit archers, you'll one-shot them if you do the spacing right. Spirit Blast is only 22 Dura, it's very good. Water Dragon is like 30 Dura, 40 Dura, stuff like that. So, Spirit Blast, quick, big thrust, whatever. What other Oogis are there? Then there's Tidal Wave, you can use it to jump off things, and use a big water attack. You will get access to Tidal Wave if you reach level 100, should you use it for your spears, as the Oogie card 3. I don't have an Eternal Thunder to show you because I don't have a cross yet, and that's the only thing I really want to put it on. I do have the skill card for it, but I'm not going to use it. So double Spirit Blast on Geno Buster, and Spirit Blast and Earth Upending Spear on the Hiotengu. Earth Upending Spear is the new Ogi from Ogi set card 4. It's very powerful. I've yet to get it to rank 6, but it does. Currently at rank 5, it has like 780 skill force, which is a lot. For those that don't know, that's a lot. It's a high Hiyori. You want some rocks? There's some rocks. Normally this Ogi would be very good on Brigandia, because the Brigandia has Okay, you're messing up my camera shot, Hiyori. What are you doing? This is my pole. We can't both dance on the pole. Anyway, thanks, Freya. I'm glad I had a nice jump off the table. So Upending Spear has about 780 skill force, and I don't know if I said that or not. People are distracting me, but it's very good. And Ogis are only going to go up exponential. Oh my god, you can use that Ogi to jump off things too? Lunge Step Extinct. We're going to have catastrophes on us all the time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Ogi Upending Spear 6 is going to have like 1600 skill force or something. You look on the wiki, but the wiki is skewed because PC updates versus ours. Hey Sexy. Hey Jin. How's that character coming? So yeah, Ogi Upending Spear is very good. It's multi-hit. It'll hit 3 times for a crap ton of damage. It does about 100k a tick to Satan, and I'm pretty sure when you evolve it, it will do 4 ticks at a greater strength. So it's a very good skill. It's basically like the Spear's version of the Sword Spirit Blast, were that to make sense, as an AoE attack. And Eternal Thunder is a slice move. Electricity is just a quick, almost an instantaneous 360. That's probably closer to Spirit Blast, to be honest. And that does damage to things. I've never used it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's good. It has to be. Galvatron knows about it more than I do. You can talk to him, maybe. So I think that's all the Ogis, the good skills. Let's talk about how to build Spear. I'm gonna get a new podium for this because Hiyori's pissing me off just a little bit. Okay, so this is my new table. And let's go in. Let's open up the hood, see what's underneath. And on that note, let's go to my profile. My profile is public, and anyone can come look at my profile and come learn what I do for Spear. Because if they're a what is the type? Defensive type? They'll probably have more affinity than me, and they could do Spear better than I could. Because I'm daring in Spear, but people are like I know I'm really good at Spear. Like I'll stave off the modesty for a bit, you know. I'm a very good Spear user. Lots of good Spear users. Kane, Zhao Yi, me, Goddess Freya's trying to be. There's lots of good Spear users. Lots of them are nice. You can talk to them. But as you can see here, if you check my profile, it will tell you to check out my YouTube account, which is my gamer tag. You can watch this video again if you want. Comment on it again if you want. But yeah, if your profile is public, I can just open you up and just examine you, you know, give you the old doctor's touch and see how everything works down there. And we'll explore all your stats and tell you where you need to go, and I could be your financial advisor, you know. But yeah, keep your profile open so we can compare stats and see where people went wrong and humor each other. Next thing. So let's go to the equipment. So I had 4 spears, typical build. You should probably have 3 spears and a staff, because that's common courtesy to invig people. And as a defensive type, your biggest buffs are to vitality, mind, and power. And then your low points are wisdom and dex. So if we go over my stat distribution, I have 33 power, 100 vitality, 16 wisdom, 52 mind, and 93 dex. So in total I have like 130 dex, 65 mind, 35... No, this number's different. What is that? 16 plus 20? I can't count. My Magatamas are messing with me. But I have a lot of points. I don't have a lot of points in wisdom, but basically if you're building Spear, put all your points into vitality till you do that, until you hit 100. Like just do that. If you're making a new Spear character, just pump your vitality till it's either, you know, high 70s, high 80s, or just 100. Like you can blossom early, or you can blossom late, or you can blossom in the middle. And by blossoming, I mean, you know, you've got to 100%. So Most people say just pump your whatever stat gives you affinity, pump that to max for your weapon of choice. This is true for every class. Then after that, choose a secondary stat. In my opinion, the best 2 secondary stats in the game are mind and dexterity. Every 12 points into dexterity will give you cooldown reduction, a point towards critical, I think attack speed every 24. It does a lot of things. It's the god stat. It's the best secondary stat if it's not your primary. And then mind will give you a bigger SP pool and more SP regen, and every 24 points into it you get more cooldown. And cooldown's important because it's damage. DPS is damage per second. So if the more damage, the more water dragons you throw at something, the quicker it dies, and that's important. Wisdom will also give you a point to critical every 24 total points into it, which means based on my stats I have a total of something, but it gives me 1 extra crit. And power will give you more HP, and it will give you attack speed every 10 or 12 points, and it will give you more affinity towards spear if you the more points you put into power. So to demonstrate that, I have 109 points left because I'm waiting to get Amaterasu max before I distribute them. So if we go power, I can put points into it until right there. So at 10 points extra, it gives me additional 79 affinity or power or attack, whatever it's called. And that's because of the power affects the affinity, and the affinity in turn affects the attack. So the affinity here is 28 or 3824. Subtract a point, it goes down to 3752. The reason my affinity is not like at 4000 with my title is because I'm daring type, the struggle is real, etc, etc. As for the wisdom thing, it gives me SP every couple points. And then it gave me a crit. Because I got a crit, an extra point to crit there because I had a total of 48 wisdom at that point calculation. And I could pump dex twice and not get critical, so we're not going to do that. I could pump mind a bunch of times, get a bit of defense and SP, but I'm not going to do that either. Because you only need 65, a total of 65 mind to cast rank 6 invigs and heals, and I don't think staff has any other skills except for invig, cure, and speed. And speed doesn't really... No, there is no speed 6, you have only speed 7, so you'll be fine with 5. Moving on. Let's go back to the equipment. So if you want to be good at spear, you're in luck, because all you have to do is your side quests. So I'll remove all my mags here, just so we can talk about things and just do it from the ground up, you know? See what you gotta do. As I'm doing that, I'll talk about your side quests. So, if you've made it to Edo, or even Echigo, or you've beaten the entire content, and you come up to someone and say, how did you get your Aries, or how did you get that Gemini, or how did you get that literature, and you've somehow beaten the game without skill force, I applaud you. Congratulations. However, if you come up to me and you ask me those questions, I will tell you, did you do all your side quests? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, go do your side quests. Because the side quests will give spear users, like, a kit. You'll get 4-5 mags, all for spear, that you can use, and they're great. But I've had people come up to me like, hey, where's this mag? I broke it. And it's just like, I'm gonna break you. But I'm guilty for that too. I broke my Aries because I learned about dissolution in Kyoto, and I broke down the Aries because I was a bow user, and I'm like, oh, it's an Aries, what is this? I'm gonna break it. I think I broke it and got a Nue heart, and I was like, how did I get a beating heart from a rock? Anyway. There I am going again. Means I'm thinking. So the basic spear kit is if you do a quest in Yamatai Koku or one of the early dungeons, you get a Gemini. So we're going to slap the Gemini on. And the Gemini is spear skill force, 39% for all your rank 4s and up, which is basically every skill you can access if you use skill evolution and skill cards, etc, etc. The next Magatama you're going to make is the most important, which is the literature. Did I just equip it over the same? I did. Scrub. When you have a lot of mags, the game lags and I don't notice things. That rhymes, so it must be true. So So literature is the next thing on your list. You can make that as soon as you get to Kaga. I believe there's a side quest in Kyoto from a fox girl. Remember this. This is the quest all you spear users need to do. You go do whatever the fox girl says. I don't care what she tells you to do. If she tells you to kill a president, it doesn't matter. Whatever you need to just do the quest and get that red, purple glass marble. That is the lifeblood of spears. You need a red, purple glass marble to make the literature. The literature is the envy of all other classes. They will be like, oh, you have literature, you don't have to do a damn thing. Oh, I have to farm for my mags. I have to wait 6 hours for Moroku to give me another Amara. Oh, the struggle, I hate spears. Like, I get that talk all day long. And what I tell them is, yeah, I get like 3 potential literatures, and they all cost like 60 plus chakra, and it's hard. The struggle is real. So literature, to get literature, you need the red, purple glass marble. You need 8 tep extract, which comes from the big tree boss. And you just, you know, ask your friends that are high level to go carry you through there. A lot of people need chaos wasabi. They need stuff to make newer weapons. I'm sure they'll let you tag along. You get 8 tep extract. You get your red, purple glass marble. I think pufferfish lantern or some random thing you can get in secluded forest, and you combine all that and poof, you get a literature. You can basically put any ornamentation on it. This was the first mag I ever ornamented, so that's why it has Breath of Earth, which is a very bad ornamentation. I'm lucky it gave me 1 vit, nothing else. And then I actually got Heavenly Shield on it, which I was a scrub at this time. I didn't know what any ornament was. I went Breath of Earth because it was safe, and then I went Heavenly Earth because I was like, that was not too bad, let's try something harder. And Heavenly Shield blessed me with 24 rain element for all my water dragons and made me like a cut above every other spear user. You know, 24 rain on your literature is real. Oof, that's something else. That's why I could refer to myself as a rain user, not a pure spear user, because I'm using Misty Masker and Twin Swords. I got a bow with Aqua Needle 7. I'm gonna be the rain user. You know, gonna make it rain. So literature, very important. It's 90% skill force to every skill you will ever use as a spear. It's fantastic. It is staple. Gemini, very good. You get one from the quest. The 3rd slot, if I had Aries, I would put Aries here. Aries is like 22, 23% to all your rank 2s and above. It's not that good, but the chakra count is low, so you can play more with ornaments and greater mags. It's basically the equivalent of a Taisai Magatama, the one you get from Kyoto, which you can use. I call it the training wheel mag. You know, everyone can use it until they actually get their mags. So Aries is low chakra, so you can play with it. And then lastly, you would get... you have 2 Magatamas you can get in the store. A couple. You will get in the store, you get 3 red purples. So you can get 3 chances at a good literature, or you can get a literature to peerless, or a literature and a peerless. But what I'm basically saying is we're going to bring in the peerless mag.